सहना वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। गिरिधारी जय गिरिधारी।
गिरिधारी जय गिरिधारी।
गिरिधारी जय गिरिधारी।
गिरिधारी जय गिरिधारी।
सुगन्ध तुलसी दलवनमाली।
तुलसी दलवनमाली।
सुगन्ध तुलसी दलवनमाली।
तुलसी दलवनमाली।
गिरिधारी जय गिरिधारी।
गिरिधारी जय गिरिधारी।
माधव मुरहर मुनिजन सेवित।
माधव मुरहर मुनिजन सेवित।
माधव मुरहर मुनिजन सेवित।
माधव मुरहर मुनिजन सेवित।
मुरलीधर श्री गिरिधारी। मुरलीधर श्री गिरिधारी। जय जय गोपी मनोहर गिरिधारी। जय जय
मनोहर गिरिधारी।
जय जय गोपी मनोहर गिरिधारी।
जय जय गोपी मनोहर गिरिधारी।
गिरिधारी जय गिरिधारी।
गिरिधारी जय गिरिधारी।
मीरा के प्रभु गिरिधर नागर।
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 मुरली मनोहर गिरिधारी।
मुरली मनोहर गिरिधारी।
मुरली मनोहर गिरिधारी।
मुरली मनोहर गिरिधारी।
जय जय गोपी 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 मनोहर गिरिधारी।
गिरिधारी जय गिरिधारी।
धारी जय गिरिधारी।
गन्ध तुलसीदलवनमाली
सुगन्ध तुलसी दलवनमाली
तारी जय गिरिधा
गिरिधारी जय गिरिधारी
जय गिरिधारी
जय गिरिधारी
जय गिरिधारी
जय गिरिधारी
ॐ नमो नारायणाय 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 ॐ नारायणाय ॐ नारायणाय सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः So yesterday we had seen how Yudhishthira was little worried, anxious. Arjuna had gone to Dwaraka. He had not returned, even after about 6 to 7 months. So he was wondering what was happening, especially because there was this all kinds of bad omens seen. So he doubted maybe Bhagavan has left his body. Because when Bhagavan came, there was all auspicious indication. So if this is true, the reverse also must be true. When Bhagavan leaves, there must be indication of Bhagavan's leaving. So he was seeing all kinds of inauspicious moments. It was at that time that Arjuna comes. That Arjuna was a very different Arjuna, very sad, very depressed. He came and fell at the feet of Yudhishthira. So when Yudhishthira asked, what happened? Why are you sad? Hmm. So many questions he asked. Said that you promised somebody and you could not fulfill the promise. You could not protect somebody. All those things. Finally, Yudhishthira asked, is it that your beloved friend is no more? And now that chapter ends there. So now we are into the 15th chapter. एवं कृष्णसखः कृष्णः भ्रात्राराज्ञा विकल्पितः नानाशङ्कास्पदं रूपं कृष्णविश्लेषकर्षितः शोकेन शुष्यद्वदन हृत्सरोजो हतप्रभः विभुं तमेवानुध्यायन् अशक्नोत् प्रतिभाषितुम्. So Arjuna, when such a question was asked by Yudhishthira, for a long time he was not able to speak. Shushyat Badana, his face was like a dry. Hata Prabha, all his cheerfulness, enthusiasm, spirit, everything was gone. For a long time he could not speak. But then what did he do? कृच्छ्रेण संस्तभ्य शुचः पाणिनामृज्य नेत्रयोः परोक्षेण समुन्नद्ध प्रणयोत्कण्ठ्यकातरः सख्यं मैत्रीं सौहृदं च सारथ्यादिषु संस्मरन् नृपमग्रजमेत्याह बाष्पगद्गदया गिरा. With great difficulty, he controlled his sorrow, wiped his tears, and then he was miserable because of his attachment towards his dear friend who was no more. And remembering all those moments, Sakhyam, he was together with Krishna for a long time, companionship, Maitri, his friendship, Sauhrdam, Bhagwan was always his well-wisher. Sarathyadishu, he was his charioteer. So many sweet moments were there. Remembering all those sweet moments. Hmm. His eyes were filled with tears and his voice was choked with emotion. With breaking voice, choked with emotion, he spoke. What did he speak? वञ्चितोऽहं महाराज हरिणा बन्धुरूपिणा येन मे पहृतं तेजः देवविस्मापनं महत्. हे Maharaja, O King, Vanchitoham, I have been completely duped by Hari. All the time I was thinking that he was my Bandhu, but I never knew that he was Hari himself, the Lord himself. He completely came as a disguise, like my friend, and then completely duped me. And because he was there with me all the time, yena me apavritam tejaha, I appeared so powerful. Deva vismapanam mahada, even devatas were amazed seeing my power, seeing my glory, seeing my strength, my valor. You see, when an iron piece is in the presence of a powerful magnet, so that iron piece appears to be like a magnet. There is no difference at all. So in the same way, I was thinking that all that power belonged to me. But actually, that power belonged to him, was always with me. I never recognized it. यस्य क्षणवियोगेन लोको ह्यप्रियदर्शनः बुद्धेन रहितो ह्येषः मृतकः प्रोच्यते यथा. This world has become, in a moment, without that Bhagavan's presence, apriyadarshana, an object of repulsion. I have no interest in this world at all. It is exactly like Uktena Rahito Hesham Mritaka. A near and dear one. You love that person extremely, but the moment life goes away from that person, now that person is a dead body lying next to you. How do you feel? That very same moment, that very same body which you had loved so much, that very same body becomes an object of repulsion. In the same way, the whole world, I have absolutely no interest in even living in this world. Now Arjuna is remembering in how many ways Bhagavan had helped him, supported him, empowered him, protected him. So those moments now he is remembering. यत्संशयान्नुपगतगेहमुपागतानां राज्ञां स्वयंवरमुखे स्मरदुर्मदानां तेजोहृतं खलु मया विहतश्च मत्स्यः सज्जीकृतेन धनुषाधिगता च कृष्णा. It is because of Bhagavan alone that we could win the hands of Draupadi. So in that assembly, all kings were assembled, the great kings, great emperors, Smara Durmadana, full of pride, full of arrogance, full of lust in that Swayamvara. And it is said that in that Swayamvara of Draupadi, all the celestials also came to see. And Draupadi was the daughter of Drupada. And Drupada wanted only Arjuna to win the hand of Draupadi. Therefore, he kept such complicated conditions. The condition was there was this Matsya, a fish which would be rotating that wheel, and the one who has to win the hand of Draupadi must look into that vessel of oil or maybe water or oil something, and he has to see the reflection, and this rotating fish he has to shoot into the eye of that rotating fish. This was the condition. Very difficult, almost impossible for anyone except Arjuna. But at that time everybody felt that the entire Pandavas had been killed in that Lakshagraha, because they found 5 bodies, 6 bodies or something. So they ensured that Pandavas are known. Pandavas had come there in the guise of Brahmanas. So these Brahmanas, they thought they are some Brahmanas. But Krishna immediately recognized them. Others could not. So then they tried their hands. Nobody could even lift the bow, it is said. The bow which was kept there. Forget about keeping that arrow and shooting. Even that was impossible. Very many kings came, nobody was able. Karna came, but then Draupadi said, I will not marry this fellow, he is a chariot. Karna was able to lift also. So that anger, that bitterness was always there with Karna. Anyway, Arjuna came, he shot that arrow exactly into the eye of that fish. He was the only one who could do it. And immediately all these kings, they gathered together. They could not stand this humiliation, insult. All of them gathered and they tried to attack these Pandavas. So Arjuna and Bhima, they handled them. So here Arjuna is saying, Bhagavan, it is only because of Bhagavan's grace that we could win the hand of Draupadi. So this is one instance where he sees his graves. Next one. यत्सन्निभावहमुखाण्डवमग्नयेदाम् इन्द्रं च सामरगणं तरसा विजित्य लब्धा सभामयकृताद्भुतशिल्पमाया दिग्भ्यो हरन् नृपतयो बलिमध्वरेते. So this is the story of Khandava Vanada, the burning of Khandava forest. So what is this story? So there was this famous king called Shvetaki. This Shvetaki was he was a person who loved a lot of rituals. So all the time some or the other sacrifice would happen. And then he would be pouring ghee into this fire. So hundreds and thousands of yaga, homa, etc. would happen. So a lot of ghee was poured into fire. So this Agni Devata, his digestion got affected. So therefore, one day when Krishna and Arjuna were seated somewhere, one Brahmana approaches. That Brahmana said, I am none other than Agni Devata. I need a help from you. So what is the help? So this, in this yaga, I am completely affected. I want to regain my energy, my vigor. So I went to Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma said, this Khandava forest, you burn it down, you will regain your energy. So I tried to burn this forest down, but Indra would immediately come and rain the whole thing and put out the fire. So this Indra has become an obstacle for me because his friends and all are staying in this forest. All these Rakshasas and what you call that, Nagas, etc. So therefore, he is not allowing me to do it. So therefore, I need a help from you. You please help me burn down this forest and thus regain my vigor. So both of them agreed. But then Arjuna said, see, now Indra is the opponent. He is none other than, Devata. Devatas are far more powerful than human beings. So we don't have that equipment to fight. He will definitely come, but to fight them, we don't have any equipment. So this Agni Devata said, don't worry about that. I will provide everything, whatever you need. So then, Agni Devata is providing so many divine weapons. So this Gandiva which Arjuna has, it is provided by Agni Devata. Again, Krishna Sudarshan Chakra also is, the list it is given. Sudarshan Chakra is also given by Agni Devata. Even the Kaumudaki Gada is given by Agni Devata. Even the chariot, it is said those horses could fly literally faster than the wind. So that kind of a powerful chariot is also given by Agni Devata. And then a quiver, inexhaustible quiver. So all these are divine weapons. So then Agni Devata gives all this and said that, now please help me. Thus they get ready. And now the Agni Devata started burning the forest. Immediately Indra Devata comes, he starts raining, and then Arjuna uses all these divine weapons, like for example, Vayamvyastra he uses to shatter all the clouds. And then again, he creates a complete shield so that the water doesn't even enter. The whole thing is shielded with arrows. All those war is described in Mahabharata. Anyway, whatever the thing is, he literally defeats Indra and thus allows this Agni Devata to burn the entire forest. Now, in that forest, Takshaka was living along with his family. Who is Takshaka? The very same serpent who bit Parikshit and killed him. That Takshaka was living in that family. His fortune, he was not there. He had gone to Kurukshetra. But his family was there. All his family members died in that fire. Also, there was another prominent character who was in that forest, who is Mayasura. Who is Mayasura? The architect of Asuras, architect of Devatas. Who is he? Vishwakarma. Architect of Asura is Mayasura. He was there trapped in that forest. He started running. And then Bhagwan's chakra started following him. So he immediately came and surrendered to Arjuna. Arjuna saved me. Arjuna said, don't worry, you have taken refuge, I will protect. So immediately that chakra also stopped. So now Mayasura was extremely grateful to Arjuna. He said, you saved my life. I am ready to do anything for you. So then Arjuna asked Bhagavan, what is it that we can do? So the Bhagavan said, do one thing. This place, you design a beautiful city here. So that place was given to Yudhishthira. So at that time, just to avoid all conflicts, Pandavas and Kauravas were given two different places so that each can rule their own place. So these people, what they have done, Kauravas, they gave such a useless land to Pandavas, which is this Khandava. Nothing but wild growth, forest, this, that, etc. That useless land was given to Yudhishthira, and Yudhishthira accepted it without any complaint. Lot of atrocities had happened with Pandavas, but they would just remain silent and never question. All the good areas they took, all these wild place with rock and all that, these people were given. Anyway, so now Mayasura was there. So Krishna said, do one thing, in this area, design a beautiful city. Because you are an architect. Mayasura said, done. So he brought all whatever was necessary, gems, jewels, crystals, and finally he designs a beautiful city. It is called as Indraprastha. And this city was even more beautiful than even Indra's Amaravati. Everything was so beautifully done. What you call lanes, by-lanes, roads, parks, orchards, palaces. Beautiful city. And in that city, he made a huge hall, assembly hall. And this hall is called as Maya Sabha, sometimes Maya Sabha. The Sabha made by Mayasura. And this hall was studded with gems and jewels and crystals. In such a way, this whole hall was designed that he, he could create illusion with the reflected lights. The moment light would reflect, this light would appear in different ways. For example, the land would be appearing as water. It is just an illusion. And real water will appear like land. So all those what you call optical illusions he created with gems, jewels, gold and all that. So it was a wonder by itself. So it is this place where Rajasuya Yajna was conducted by Yudhishthira. And in that Rajasuya Yajna, very many kings came bringing their tributes. And to attend this Rajasuya Yajna, Duryodhana comes and he gets completely confused. So water, he thought it is land, he just jumped into it. Land, he started raising his, cloth and all that. Now, there is a story saying that Draupadi looked at it and said that, yes, blind man, son is blind only. And then she laughed. Actually, that story is not there in Mahabharata. Somebody has added that. So in original Mahabharata, that is not there. So many people say that the whole war was because of this lady, because she laughed at him. It is not true. Anyway, so that was the what you call Sabha of Mayasura. Again, Arjuna is saying, O king, O brother, whatever we got, it was only because of Brahma. He helped us win over Indra. He helped us gain all divine weapons. He helped us even in Rajasuya Yajna also. Agra Puja was done to Krishna only. This question came, who has to be worshipped first before this puja begins? So at that time, Bhishma Pitama said, there is only one person who is fit to be worshipped, and that is Krishna. It was Bhishma who said that. And thus Bhagavan Krishna was worshipped. That was the time when Shishupala said, who is this? Why is this person worshipped? Then Shishupala started uttering all abuses, and Bhagavan had to kill Shishupala. All those things are happening in this sabha. So the point is this, okay, whatever we have got it from Bhagavan only. So these are all remembrance in gratitude. Okay, next one. यत्तेजसानृपशिरोऽघ्रिमहन्महार्ते आयोनुजस्तव गजायुतसत्त्ववीर्यः तेनाहृताः प्रमथनाथमखाय भूपा यन्मोचितास्तदनयन् बलिमध्वरेते. It is because of His glory, greatness, power that we could win over that powerful king named Jarasandha. So this is about Jarasandha. So Jarasandha was a powerful king. So what was his story? So there was a king of Magadha. His name is Brihadratha, king of Magadha. He did not have an issue. He was a very powerful king, but he did not have an issue. He had two queens. So one day he went to a great Rishi named Chandakaushika. Chandakaushika. He said, "Oh Rishi, please bless me. I don't have an issue. So therefore, who will look after this kingdom?" So Chandakaushika gave him a fruit, some mangoes. Said, "You just give it to your queen and a child will be born." So the king came back with that fruit. Now he has two queens, whom to give. So what he did, he just made it half and gave half, both the queens. So both of them are happy. After the period of time, both of them gave birth. Now, unfortunately, these two queens gave birth to one half of a child, and both the halves were dead. So one half, maybe right half this side, left half that side. And the queens were so sad. They were thinking that some baby will be coming. Yes, baby only came, but only half. And it was a dead half also. So then what to do? So then finally, this king, he took those halves and threw it in the forest because it's of no use. It's a dead body. Now in that forest, there was one demoness. Her name was Jara. So she was roaming around and she found this one piece. She thought she will eat it because she was a flesh-eating demoness. But very near to that place, another piece also she found. So just out of curiosity, she just came together. And the moment she kept it together, this baby came into life. So then she had a lot of respect and regard for the king. So she brought that king and brought the child and presented it in front of this king. What's the name of the king? Forgot. I don't have any great expectations from you, okay? Brihadratha. Brihadratha. Okay. Anyway, this child was born. So now this child was actually came alive because of this demon is called Jara. And she is the one who joined the child, Sandhi. So Jarasandha was given the name. This child was named Jarasandha, the one who has been united by Jarasandha. Now this king, this boy, grew up to become a very powerful king. He was a great Shiva Bhakta also. And very soon he became the king. Very powerful king, literally invincible, very strong, powerful, disciplined, but little cruel also. He was a great devotee of Bhagavan, no doubt, but he was little cruel. He was too much into these rituals and sacrifices. And what kind of thing? Where human sacrifices are given. And that too, he was of a different type. So one day he decided to do a Shiva puja where 100 heads of kings would be sacrificed. Not the ordinary human being. See, what you sacrifice, that also will improve the quality of puja, you see. Giving ordinary animals and all is very low. Human beings, even high. And among them also, kings. He was very powerful. So he would go conquer that king catch hold of him alive and put him in prison. So, like that, he was collecting so many kings. So, once he reached the 100, then he would kill all of them and then do the worship. So, he had reached up to 86. 14 more were needed to start his worship. So, all these kings were imprisoned. So, this was a time when Yudhishthira was doing this Rajasuya. And what is the purpose of Rajasuya? The purpose is this, to without indicate, without bloodshed, without war, to indicate that I am the emperor of this place. So that there is no war, there is no bloodshed. So then they would Ashwamedhaya also sometimes it is called. They will just release a horse. So if the horse goes without disturbed, that means the ruler of that land has accepted Yudhishthira as the emperor. So then every year he will have to give taxes, whatever, tributes, gift, etc. he has to give. But suppose he doesn't accept it, then he will have to catch that horse and tie it down. So this one person had not surrendered, Jarasandha. So all of them went to Krishna, Arjuna, Bhima. They took the form of a Brahmana and then requested him for a duel. Dvandva Yuddha. Why honestly create a war? So then he accepts. Both of them touch the feet of each other, Jarasandha and Bhima. And Jarasandha was such a great person. He could have easily chosen somebody, Arjuna or some Krishna or somebody. Arjuna mainly. In Dvandva Yuddha, nobody could defeat Jarasandha. He was very powerful. But then he was such a righteous person. He said, no, the matching will be with Bhima only. Both of us look alike. And thus, both of them agree for a Dvandva. And how many days they fought? They fought for almost 27 days. And Bhima was just not able to conquer him, kill him. Morning till evening, fight will happen. They would take rest. And this Jarasandha's body was such that one night sleep and he would come out of all injuries, fractures, and all that. Whatever the wounds were there, he would get healed because he had that boon or something. So every day he would come back fresh. So it was becoming more and more difficult for Bhima to handle. Both were masters in Mallayuddha. So it was literally when Bhima was giving up, then Bhagavan indicates to Bhima how to fight this war. So he takes a leaf and then tear it from the center. It shows Bhima, this is the way to handle it. Bhima understands it. Immediately he catches the leg and then tears Jarasandha apart and then throws both the pieces away. That is how Jarasandha is killed. Now a question may come, why can't Krishna tell it in the beginning itself? The first day itself you give the clue, no? Why you wait for 27 days? Krishna always does this. In the beginning he will not tell. When he's getting proper beating, then he will release the clue. You see, there is a reason for it. The reason is this. As long as we are full of our ego, thinking that I can do anything, I don't need anybody's help, Bhagavan will not interfere. But finally, a time comes when we say, Bhagavan, I cannot handle it. You have to do something. That is when. So you see, the purpose of all this Leela is only for one thing, to efface our ego. Whether it is in Pandavas or whether it is with us. So these are the lessons we have to learn from all this. It's not that Bhagavan is cruel, therefore he is doing all this. No. Somewhere deep down the ego is there that I am very powerful, I can handle everything, I know the solution, I don't need any help from anyone. When this attitude is there, there is no surrender. At that time, Bhagavan remains quiet. This is the thing. So finally, Bhima is able to win over this Jarasandha. He is killed. His son is made the king of Magadha. His son's name was what is that? Sahadeva. He was made the king. So here Arjuna is saying it was because of Bhagavan Then Bhima, though he was Gajanda Sattvavirya, he had the power of 10,000 elephants. That is the power of Bhima. Even he could not win over Jarasandha. It was by the blessings of the Lord alone that we could handle, defeat Jarasandha. So this episode is remember. Okay, next one. पत्न्यास्तवाभिमखक्लुप्तमहाभिषेक श्लाघिष्ठचारुकबरं कितवैसभायाम् स्पृष्टं विकीर्य पदयोः पतिताश्रुमुख्याः यस्तत्स्त्रियो कृतहतेश विमुक्तकेशाः. Yes, this is the episode of Draupadi. What is said here? Draupadi's hair. Now there is one, you see one word here. It is one word. Adhimaka Glupta Mahabhisheka Slaghishta Charu Kabaram. It is one word. Kabaram, hair. Charu Kabaram, beautiful hair. Slaghishta Charu Kabaram, beautiful hair praised by everybody. So whose hair are we talking of? Draupadi's hair. Okay. Beautiful. She had a long hair, beautiful hair. So the beautiful hair praised by everyone. Now what had happened to that hair? Adhimakha Klupta Mahabhishek. That hair which was sanctified by the holy waters from Rajasuya Yajna. So the hair of Draupadi, which is so beautiful that everyone praised it, and that hair which is sanctified by the waters, holy waters of the sacrifice of Rajasuya. This is actually what has happened to that hair. Kitavaihi sabhayam sprushtam. In that evil assembly, that evil ones, those wicked ones, they got hold of that hair. And then what happened? Then Draupadi, Padayoho, Patitaha, Ashrumukyaha, with tears flowing down, she fell at the feet of her husband with all hair disheveled. Then Bhagavan, what did he do? Yah tat striyah akrita hatesha vimukta kesha. These are all poetry, you see. This Sanskrit is very difficult of Bhagavad, unlike Bhagavad Gita. Very difficult. So here, that Bhagavan made the wives of all those wicked people, their hair disheveled. These wicked people disheveled the hair of Draupadi. Bhagavan disheveled the hair of all the wives of those wicked people. Now, what it means is, we may think, what is there? Meaning, Bhagavan killed all of them. So, it is in those times when a woman becomes a widow, she has to just untie the hair. This is the way she would give an indication to others that, see, I am a widow. So, the hair will be untied. So, what is being said here is all those wicked people had their wives disheveled their hair, meaning these wicked people were killed. It has nothing to do with the wives there. Meaning, whatever promise at that time Bhima had taken, all those promises were fulfilled by the Lord. What are the promises taken by Bhima at that time? Bhima was the one person who became so wild. He took so many wars, and that Duryodhana, when the whole thing was happening, Dushasana was disturbing Draupadi. At that time, Bhima said, I will tear open his heart and then drink the blood. He had taken that vow. And moreover, with that blood, that hair I will bathe that hand. So two was. Third war, Duryodhana asked Draupadi, come sit on my thigh. So he, what he got, patted his thigh. So Bhima said, I am going to break that thigh. This is the second war which he had to. At that time, Karna instigated the whole thing. He was the one who gave the idea and all that. And he called Draupadi a prostitute also. So then Bhima said, yes, this fellow also will be killed. Karna, so Duryodhana, Karna, all the Kauravas, he took the vow that I am going to kill all of them, 100 of them. Again, Shakuni. Shakuni also was killed by Bhima. So Duryodhana's thigh was broken by Bhima. After that, 100 Kauravas were killed. After that, Karna was killed by Arjuna. Shakuni was killed by Bhima only. So whatever was he had taken, he could fulfill it. It was only because of the grace of the Lord. Bhima is right there, next to Yudhishthira, when all these things were said. Next one. यो नो जुगोपवनमेत्य दुरन्तकृच्छ्रात् दुर्वाससोरिविहितादयुताग्रभुग्यः शाकान्नशिष्टमुपयुज्य यतस्त्रिलोकीम् तृप्ताममंस्तसलिले विनिमग्नसङ्घः. And how many difficult, dangerous situations Bhagwan has protected us. So one such instance is the instance of Durvasa. I'm sure all of you know this story. So what is the story? So one day Durvasa went to Duryodhana, and Duryodhana took care of Durvasa very well. So much so that Durvasa was very happy. Making Durvasa happy was very difficult. Because this man would appear for lunchtime and immediately you have to prepare lunch. Sometimes he will say, I'm coming, and then he will disappear. He will not be there. So anyone would get irritated with Durvasa. But Duryodhana served him silently, without complaint. So Durvasa was very happy. He said, ask what you want. Duryodhana thought, the best way is make Durvasa God curse Pandavas. So therefore he said, oh Rishi, you must bless our brothers there. They are in exile now, in the forest now. So therefore, do one thing. You, along with your 10,000 disciples, please go and visit them. Let them get the honor of offering you Bhiksha. But please go after Draupadi has eaten. So he knew that Draupadi had this Akshaya Patra. So what was the unique feature about this Akshaya Patra? It was given by Surya Devata. So this Patra was such that as long as she has not eaten, she can produce any amount of food. This Akshaya Patra can give food to any number of people. The only condition is Draupadi should not have eaten. So therefore, Duryodhana said, once she has eaten, you go. So Durvasa said, okay, fine. So he went along with his 10,000 disciples. And now he had gone a little late. So by then, Draupadi had already finished her lunch. Then all these people came. Now Draupadi was miserable. How will I feed them? And then Durvasa said, now I am going to take bath along with my disciples. After bath, we'll come back and then we'll have lunch. By then you prepare. She started praying, oh Lord, save me. So there are moments where you are totally helpless. You see, this is what you have to understand. Not how can there be 10,000 disciples, how can one person cook? You forget about all that. A situation where we are absolutely helpless. This is the way we have to understand these stories. Absolutely helpless. Nobody can help. She sincerely prayed to her. Bhagavan, save me. Exactly at that time, Krishna comes. Asks you, did you remember me? What is the matter? No, don't say, oh, how can Krishna come and on? It's a fact. You just try it. Whenever you are in a helpless situation, remember the Lord, something will happen. You will come out of that danger. It's a guaranteed thing. It is Bhagavan's promise. Name Bhakta Pranashyati. You can test it. Even today, it is a fact. It will work. Now, those people were pure hearted. So, Bhagavan himself came. We don't want Bhagavan. That's why Bhagavan doesn't come to us. We want only our work to get done. They truly loved Bhagavan. So, Bhagavan came. Tell me, what is the matter? Oh, Bhagavan, now they are going to come. I don't know how to feed them. Don't worry, you bring that patra. Where is it? It is put to wash. Bring it. But he looked, there was one vegetable piece or some leaf or something stuck there. So it is said Bhagavan just ate it. Shakan shishtamupayujya yatastrilokim truttam amamansata. Shaka, one piece of vegetable. He ate, and the moment he ate, Trilokim Truptam, all the three worlds, whoever beings were there, all beings in full. Now this Urvasa Rishi, he was taking bath. Suddenly he started burping. He was so full. What happened? I am really full. They asked, yes, yes, I am also feeling full. Now we have to go there. They would have prepared our lunch, grand feast. So they decided, let us run away from here because they have promised. Can't face them. So you can't have another feast after already. So they decided without even informing, let us run. So Nakula or Sahadeva came later to call them. Nobody was there. So those who saw that, yeah, they were all in a hurry, they were running. Praptamamsa salile vinimagna sankaha. All those people who were taking bath in water, everybody got trapti. So in this way, how many such dangers Bhagavan has saved us? Literally, where we did not have any other option. You know, this Durvasa Rishi is terrible Rishi. If he gets angry, that's it. Very notorious in cursing. So, how many such dangers Bhagavan has saved us? So, this is one such. Next one. यत्तेजसाथ भगवान् युधिशूलपाणिः विस्मापितः स गिरिजोऽस्त्रमदान्निजं मे अन्येऽपि चाहममुनैव कलेवरेण प्राप्तो महेन्द्रभवने महदासनार्धम्. It is because of the grace of Bhagavan that Bhagavan Shulapanihi, we could get his grace and blessing. Who is Shulapani? Shulapani. Pani means hand. The one who carried Shulam in his hand. Shulapani. Who is he? Lord Shiva. It is because of grace of Bhagavan alone that we could get the blessing of Lord Shiva. So this story is this. So during their exile, Arjuna went to Himalayas. Arjuna went to Himalayas for what? To do tapas. Because very soon they knew that these Kauravas are terrible people and they understand only the language of force, might. So time will come when we'll have to fight with them. And they are all very, very powerful, invincible people, literally. So therefore, we might need divine weapons. So knowing this, Arjuna goes to Himalayas to do tapas, austerity. So as he was sitting there, a wild boar comes and attacks him. So immediately he takes his bow and arrow and shoots him. So the wild boar falls dead. But then he finds that there is another arrow which has hit the boar. So he looks around and he finds a hunter there along with his wife. So then he says, I hit the boar. He says, no, my arrow came first. And there was an argument. And Arjuna got truly irritated, and then they decided that we will decide by fighting. So both of them started fighting. Arjuna was nowhere. In no time, that hunter caught hold of him, twisted him and lifted him and smashed him on the ground. He just could not do anything. Arjuna was stunned because no mortal could face him. Arjuna was so strong. And this ordinary hunter. So finally, but one good thing about Arjuna was he never ran away from the battle. Either he would win or he will die. That was that character of Arjuna. So he understood that this hunter is not an ordinary person. He understood, and he sat there, made a Shivalinga, started offering flowers to Shivalinga. And wonder of wonders, whatever Bilva Patra, etc., he was offering, it was falling straight at the feet of this hunter. Then he understands that this hunter is no ordinary hunter, he is none other than Bhagavan himself. And Bhagavan was also extremely pleased with him because of his fearlessness, straightforwardness. So this is one good quality about a Kshatriya. Not running away from the battlefield. Yuddhecha api apalayanam. We'll find in Bhagavad Gita. What is the sign of a Kshatriya? Not running away. Doesn't matter, I will die, but I will die fightingly. So that attitude, Bhagavan was extremely pleased with him. So then he gave his darshan, and Bhagavan gave him Nija Astram. What is Nija Astram of Bhagavan? His own weapon, Pashupatastra. So thus Arjuna was blessed with Pashupatastra, one of the most powerful weapons, just like Brahmastra. Interestingly, Arjuna never uses Pashupatastra in that Mahabharata war. It was like a nuclear bomb. You don't use it unless it is absolutely necessary. He wanted to use it against Jayadratha. He wanted to use it against Karna, but Bhagavan said, no, don't use. That should not be, what you call, used unnecessarily. So he had all those weapons. Again, it was at this time when he was doing tapas that one Vimana or something comes down from Swarga. The Dutas of Indra comes to take him to the Swargaloka. So that is what the next talk they say. Anyepicha aham aguneva kaleverena. With this physical body, I could go to Swargaloka. What is a necessary condition to go to Swargaloka? You must die. So here, amunaiva kalevarena. With this physical body, I could go to Swarga. Prabhu Mahendra Bhavane Mahadasanartham. I was made to sit next to Indra. Indrasana. Indra is none other than the father of Arjuna only. Indra's Amsha is Arjuna. I could sit next to him. So Indra was almost there for 5 years, it is. And there is a reason why Indra wanted Arjuna to go there. That topic comes in the next verse actually. So there was this demon race called Nivata Kavacha. Nivata Kavacha. They were living under the ocean. And they had this boon that nobody could defeat them. The what you call Gandharvas, Devatas, Danavas, nobody could defeat, only human beings could defeat. So this blessing they had got from Lord Brahma. So now Devatas could not win any war against them, Nivata Kavachas, these demons. So therefore, Indra wanted a human being. So that is why Arjuna is taken there. Now, to fight with them again, Arjuna has to be empowered with divine weapons. So then they give all the weapons to Arjuna. See, that is how Arjuna becomes the most competent person in the Mahabharata war. Because he had all these weapons. So what are the weapons? Big list is there. Few of them I will read. Vajrastra by Indra. Aindrastra. Nagastra. Varunastra, Gandiva, of course, that was given by Agni. Dandastra by Yamaraj. Antardhanastra from Kubera. How to become invisible. All those things were there. Vayuvyastra from Vayu. Gandharvastra. It is astra which would create illusions. So, with all these astras, weapons, Arjuna became a complete man, complete warrior, I should say. Very difficult to defeat in Arjuna because of all this. Now Arjuna is saying it is only because of the grace of the Lord that I got this. Weapon from Lord Shiva. Weapon from Lord Shiva means what? Grace and blessings of Lord Shiva also. Next one also we'll तत्रैव मे विहरतो भुजदण्डयुग्मम् गाण्डीवलक्षणमरातिवधाय देवाः सेन्द्राश्रिताय धनुभावितमाजमीढ तेनाहमद्य मुषितः पुरुषेण भूम्ना तत्रैव मे विहरतः भुजदण्डयुग्मम्. Depending on the power of these two arms, Devatas, they asked me to come to Swargaloka. Arjuna was the right person. And they made use of Arjuna's presence by killing all these Nivata Kavachas and all, demon race. Another race was there, Kalakaya. So, Indra gave his own chariot and the charioteer also. Who is the charioteer of Indra? His name is Matali. So Matali himself drew the chariot. And all these demon rays are vanquished. So against this Nivata Kavacha, Arjuna uses Pashpatastra. Where did he use Pashpatastra? He did not use it in Mahabharata. But in Nivata Kavacha case, he wanted that. He had to use it. One of the most powerful weapon, Astra. So he destroyed all of them. He stayed with them. Everybody loved Arjuna. And there he learned dance and music. Who was the teacher of Arjuna? Huh? Not Urvashi. Urvashi episode is something different. His teacher was Chitrasena, a Gandharva. So Chitrasena taught him the music dance, which came very handy later during incognito exile. The 1 year Ajnatavasa, all these will be very useful. Arjuna could sing well and he could also play all instruments, musical instruments. All these things he had learned from somewhere. From what you call a master teacher called as Chitrasena. And that Urvashi episode also happened in Indraloka only. So it so happened that Urvashi was dancing and Indra felt that Arjuna was interested in Urvashi. So then he called Urvashi and said, please him, make him happy. So then Indra was his, what you call, in his room. So Urvashi comes. And in fact, Urvashi was also in love with Arjuna, seeing his valor, strength, etc. So Urvashi approaches. At that time, Arjuna says, Mother, you are like my mother for me. I can't even think of all that because Indra is my father and therefore you are like my mother. And Urvashi felt very bad. He said, nobody rejected me. That is true, but you are like my mother. So then she curses Arjuna. So Arjuna is cursed for his sense control. So okay, so there you will be a eunuch, a transgender. What kind of man you are? So then this curse, they say, Urvashi Shapam Bakar, a very famous quote. That which was a curse becomes a blessing in disguise during his stay incognito. So these are all the blessings of Bhagavan only. Now see, if you see this Arjuna, he's an amazing person. There are so many virtues in Arjuna because of which Bhagavan chooses Arjuna to impart this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Lot of virtues. If we just discuss all the stories which are related to Arjuna, that is more than sufficient. He was an ideal devotee, an ideal son, an ideal brother, an ideal disciple. Everywhere you will find these virtues. How is he an ideal devotee? So Arjuna and Duryodhana, that story is famous. Both of them go to Krishna. Krishna said, choose whatever you want. I will be on one side, my army will be on the other side. I am not going to take any weapon. So Duryodhana said, what is the use if you are not taking it? I want your army on. In the war, that is the most important thing. What will you do with a man who will never touch a weapon? I want your Narayani Sena. Bhagavan said, Arjuna, what about you? Bhagavan, I want only you. I don't know whether you take weapon or not, I don't care. You have to be. And that one man made all the difference without taking any weapon. If at all Pandavas have won the war, it is only because of Krishna, 100%. Otherwise, it was impossible. Kaivartaka Keshava. So, Arjuna was an ideal devotee, number one. Number two, he was an ideal brother when during that dice play, whatever Yudhishthira said, he just obeyed. It's not easy. He was keeping Arjuna at stake. Next one, Arjuna. Arjuna doesn't say, how dare you are keeping me? I am independent. Who are you to keep me? No. You see, that is something really great about Pandavas. If elder brother has said it, over. If I want to become a slave, done. Rest of my life I will remain a slave of Kauravas. You think it is easy? All the brothers, even though Yudhishthira was doing something wrong, they never questioned. That obedience. That obedience and surrender itself later on becomes Sharanagati to Bhagavan. Whoever is our elders, our parents, our seniors, learn to bow down to them unquestioningly. If this practice you can do, very easily you can bow down to Bhagavan, very easily you can. See, the whole samsara is because of the ego. The one who has learned to surrender the ego, for him samsara is very easily gone. The one thing to be learned is to bow down. In the beginning, you bow down to your elders, teachers, etc. Later on, that habit of bowing down itself becomes a blessing. Too easily you are able to bow down to God. Renounce your ego is the only request from God. I will make you God is the promise. Gurudev's quote. So what is the only request from God? Renounce your ego. So all these worldly transactions, if we can train our mind in this, going down. So Arjuna was an ideal brother. Again, he was an ideal son. He was the one who won over Draupadi. But then Kunti said, whatever you have brought, share among yourselves. So all the Pandavas, they brought Draupadi. Kunti Mata was doing something there inside the kitchen. Amma, see what we have brought for you. Whatever it is, share among yourselves. That's it. All of them said, fine. If mother has said it, matter is over. Great surrender is needed. You see the amount of obedience. Arjuna said, remember Draupadi was very, very beautiful, the most beautiful lady of those times. Arjuna said, if mother has said it, that is the final. How she has said it, we don't care. So there we find an obedient son there. Obedient son, obedient brother. Dronacharya loved Arjuna the most. He was a pet disciple of Dronacharya. There is a reason why a teacher is loving you. Not just because you have skills. No, it is not just about skills and hard work and all. There is something else also. When a student is obedient, very humble, very simple, very polite, very sweet, that is when love and affection emerges from the heart of the teacher. So he had literally conquered through his good behavior, the heart of his Guru. Dronacharya loved him very much, exactly like his own son, Ashwatthama. So many things which he had not taught to others, he had taught to Ashwatthama and also Arjuna. So he was an ideal disciple. Again, with Bhishma also. Bhishma loved Arjuna so much, his own grandfather. So therefore, we find that everybody loved Arjuna. Everybody. And Bhagavan, of course, he himself directly said, Bhaktosi me sakha cheti. Arjuna, I am choosing you to give this knowledge because you are my friend, but more importantly, you are my bhakta, devotee. That is the glory of Arjuna. And now you see, Indraloka also, Indra loved him so much. Hey, come, sit next to me. He was chosen to go with the body. Fine, you are fit to come here with the body. You don't have to die. With the body, he ran. And you see this in this Urvashi episode also. Look at the sense control of this man. Most beautiful lady is in front. He says, no, you are like my mother. Hmm. These are all the great virtues we find in this character called Arjuna. Okay. Anyway. So Arjuna is saying, such was my glory that I could physically go to the Swargaloka. Everybody respected me, loved me. They were filled with wonder, seeing my power, my glory, everything, but it was all because of Bhagavan. Next one, 14th one. Yadbandhavah kurubalaabhimanantaparam एको रथेन ततरेहमतार्य सत्त्वम् प्रत्याहृतं बहुधनं च मया परेषाम् तेजास्पदं मणिमयं च हृतं शिरोभ्यः. So this episode is during the Virata Parva. So in that 1 year incognito, they were staying at Jnatavasa. So all the five were there in the place called Matsya Desha. Matsya. And who was the king of Matsya Desha? Virata. Virata was the king. And he did not know. So these five people came, they settled in their respective areas. So that was the time when Arjuna was a transgender. What was his name? Brihannala. Brihannala was there. And she came. He was with the queen Sudeshna, wife of Virat. And then she was there, and no, Brihannala was with Uttara. Okay. Anyway, they were all there in that ladies' apartments. So Uttara was the daughter of Virat. And Virat had another son. What was his name? Uttar Kumar. Yeah. So he was a very, very funny character. So he would talk about himself a lot, especially when he is surrounded by ladies and all that. So one day what happened? So this Yudhishthira was with Virata. His name was Kamka. So he would be like an advisor and he would be playing dice, etc. He was a master of dice, Yudhishthira. So he would sit with him like an advisor, give company to the king and all that. That was Yudhishthira's. Draupadi and Brahmala, they were with in the ladies apart. So one day what happened? Kaurava army attacks Matsyadesh. All of them are there. Bhishma, Drona, Duryodhana, Ashwatthama, everybody. And what was the purpose of attack? To steal the cattle wealth. In those times, cattle was the real wealth. To steal the cattle wealth of this Matsya. So around 1 lakh cows. So the entire army comes. So this message was sent by the Dutas that they are coming, we have to do something. So then this Uttar Kumar said, I single-handedly would have defeated all of them. But I don't have a good charioteer. That's the problem. They don't know my strength. Uttar Kumar was just, beating his own drum. So then, Draupadi, what was her name? Draupadi's name is there. Sairandri, correct. Sairandri. So she said, you see this Brihannada, she is an expert charioteer. In fact, she was a charioteer of Arjuna himself. So therefore, take her with you, whatever. So Uttar Kumar said, fine. So if you have that much of experience, then we'll go. So thus, Brihannala became the charioteer and he started, you know, so both of them. And the moment this Uttar Kumar saw that army, all mighty warriors, Bhishma, Drona, everybody, he started trembling in fear. Immediately he left the chariot and started running. So that was the time when Brihannala chased him, got out of him. What are you doing? You said that you will single-handedly do this, that, etc. No, 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 no. It is better. I am finished if I stand here. So then Brahma said, don't worry. I will fight. You become the chariot. What? You will fight? He could not believe. So then Brahmanala takes him to one banyan tree or something. Not banyan tree, the Shamika bush, the tree. So they had kept all the weapons on the top of the tree, tied in some rope and all. So he asked him to climb the tree and get all the weapons down. So then the Gandiva, everything was there. Then he revealed the secret. See, I am Arjuna. That is when, otherwise he was not ready. He was just not ready to be the charioteer also. Finally, he had to reveal the secret. But it was after 1 year. This episode happens after 1 year. So they never broke the, what you call. So finally, Arjuna gets the Gandiva. Then he single-handedly faces all. Everybody was there. Bhishma, Drona, Duryodhana, Ashwatthama, everybody was there. Krupacharya, Shalya, everybody was there. Single-handedly faced. At that time, Duryodhana, this cannot be anybody other than Arjuna. And they says, yes, we have caught hold of him. Now again another 12 years. At that time, Bhishma, who knew all the planetary positions, the great astrologer also, Bhishma knew everything. He said, no, the time has already up. It is already few months over. They recognize him because the way one person single-handedly fighting with the entire army, by then Arjuna was empowered with all divine weapons also. He had already finished that Swarga Kala and all that. So now he had enough weapons also, single-handedly fights all of them. And then what happens? Finally, he sends one astra called Mohanastra. And the moment that astra was shot, all the warriors, they just fell down unconscious. So that was the kind of arrow. Shoot that, and they're all unconscious. So then they go, they take away all the pratyahritam baudhanam maya paresham tejaspadam manimayam vritam shirobhya. Took away all the gems, jewels, costly, what you call garments, the gold, all those, everything they took. Because Uttara, while going, Uttara had told Uttar Kumar, see, now that you are going to win all of them, after defeating them, bring all those because they have these precious gems, this, that, etc. So therefore, Arjuna, both of them, they are all lying down unconscious. So from them they collect all the what you call kirita and they bring all that. Now again, the fun part is not over. So the Duta comes and says that, oh, the entire Kaurava force has been vanquished. Everybody was so happy. They thought Uttar Kumar did it. This news came to Virat. So they were playing dice. So even before going, Yudhishthira had told, yes, if Brihannala is there with Virat or that Uttar Kumar, he has nothing to fear. So at that time, the king had remained quiet. He did not understand. When he heard this, that his son conquered the entire Kaurava force, he was so happy. My son did it. Uttar Kumar. At that time, Yudhishthira again said, yeah, if Brahmala is there, then he has nothing to fear. Again and again, when Yudhishthira said this, he became really angry. What are you talking? Brother, how many times you have told this? And then all those the dice and coins were there. He just threw it on his face. And it is said he started bleeding, Yudhishthira. But he did not allow the blood to drop on the ground because then the whole country would be destroyed because a holy person's blood, if something like that happens, it would. So he did not allow that blood. Anyway, later on, Virata comes to know who this Prahalada is. And then he falls at his feet and sits for him, etc. This Matsyadesha also joined Pandavas in the war. And you know how many days Uttar Kumar survived in those 18 days? First day itself he was killed. What about the father, Virata? Eighth day he was killed. But Uttar Kumar was dead the first day itself by some ordinary king. Anyway, so that is the episode. So here is a Ego Rathe, single-handedly Tatare. That army was invincible. Anantaparam, that army, single-handedly I could conquer them. It was only because of the grace of the Lord. Next one. यो भीष्मकर्णगुरुशल्यचमोष्वदभ्र राजन्यवर्यरथमण्डलमण्डितासु अग्रे च रोमविभोरधयोधपानाम् आयुर्मनांसि च दृशा सह ओज आर्च्छत्. So in the battlefield, Mahabharata war, Bhishma, Karna, Guru, Shalya, Chamoshu means army. The army consisted of all these mighty warriors. They are all Adabra Rajanyavarya, invincible celebrated heroes. And they had every day they would arrange some kind of array. Padma Vyuha, Chakra Vyuha, Makara Vyuha, Garuda Vyuha, every day some Vyuha will be there. The arrangement of the army, and they have to pierce it. Very complicated, very difficult kind of arrays were arranged before the war. So what is Arjuna saying? Agre charaha mama vibhav rathayutavanam. Bhagwan would just walk in front. Drisha, just by look. Ayuhu manamsi ojaha archat. So before the war, Bhagwan would, walk in front of me. Agrechara. Look everybody once. And with that look itself, he would take away what? Ayuhu, their lifespan. Manamsi, their mind. Oja, their prowess, their strength. Just by the look. Meaning what? I have conquered all of them not because of my strength. Bhagwan had already prepared the field. And this Bhagwan also says in Bhagavad Gita, Tasmat tamuttishtalam yasholabhasva jitva shatrun bhumshwarajyam samritam mayevete nihata purvameva nimitta matram bhavya savyasacham. Arjuna, stand up and fight. All these people I have already killed them. You don't have to shoot some arrows and they will fall down dead. Like the children's drama. Ravana is standing there, Rama is standing there. So Ravana is instructed. You see, the moment the arrow comes, even if it doesn't hit you, you have to fall down. Sometimes the arrow doesn't go also. The fellow doesn't pull. The arrow will fall straight. Even then you have to die. pre-scripted. In the same way, Bhagavan tells Arjuna in that 11th chapter, Arjuna, I have already killed it. Don't have to worry about this Bhishma, Karna, Jayadratha and all that. I have already killed it. Nimitta matram bhavas. You just be my instrument. Shoot some few arrows and they will fall down dead. You already killed it. So now Arjuna is saying this, whatever had happened, I thought it was mine, but actually it was Bhagavan alone who was doing everything. Now, this is a lesson to all of us. Don't think it is only applicable to Arjuna. No, no, no. In our life also, whatever award, reward, power, position, attainments, whatever we have gained, the lesson is this. Never say I did it. Bhagavan, you did it. I just became a nimitta. This is the way we have to learn. Okay, the next one also we'll take. I think next one we'll take it. Shall we take it? Yeah. Okay. यद्दोषुमा प्रणिहितं गुरुभीष्मकर्णं नत्रत्रिगर्तशलसैन्धवबालिकाद्यैः अस्त्राण्यमोघमहिमानि निरूपितानि नोपस्पृशुर्नृहरिदासमिवासुराणि. All these mighty warriors had shot so many weapons, astras, arrows at me. They were infallible. Were they Guru? Guru means Dronacharya. Bhishma, Karna, Naptra. Who is this Naptra? Bhurishras. Naptra. Trigarta. Trigarta is Susharma. Shala. Shala means Shalya. Saindhava. Saindhava means Jayadratha. All these people. Balika. There's another one. Balika. You know who is Balika? Shantanu's younger brother. Can you believe he was also there in the war? Shantanu's son is Chitraangada Vichitravirya. Vichitravirya, the next generation is Dhritarashtra. Next generation is Kaurava Pandava. Next generation is Abhimanyu. And this old man has come to fight war. How many generations? Balika. He was killed by Bhima. Shantanu's younger brother. Balika's son is Somadatta. Somadatta was killed by Satiki. Somadatta's son is Bhurishrava. Bhurishrava also was killed by Satiki. I don't know what madness it is. In that age, he is coming to fight the war, and that with his great grandchildren. Where is the comparison? Unbelievable sometimes. Especially Bhishma and all that. He is literally fighting with his great grandchildren. But still, nobody could defeat him. He was invincible. What might be that strength? Anyway, Astrani Amogha Mahimani Nirupitani. Infallible arrows were shot. None Upasprishpu. These arrows could not touch me. How? Nrharidasam Iva Asurani. Just like that Nrharidasa. Who is Nrharidasa? Nrhari, who is Nrhari? Nrhari. Man lion. Narasimha. Nrharidasa. Who is Nrharidasa? Prahlad. Nrharidasa Iva Asurani. Just like how Prahlada was protected, he was against the most powerful person, conqueror of the three worlds, Hiranyakashipu. What was there which was not there with him? But he just could not kill this boy. In the same way, Arjuna was, they just could not do anything with this man. Some of the arrows were Narayanastra. For example, Narayanastra when it was shot. When Narayana Astra was shot, they tried to oppose him. Immediately Krishna said, see, the only solution to this Astra is just surrender. So many ways Krishna saved them. For this Narayana Astra, there is no remedy. You should not fight against it. You surrender it and it will just bypass you. So that technique was given by Bhagavan. Then there is another Astra called Nagastra. Karna shot it straight to the neck of Arjuna. Bhagavan just pressed the entire chariot and this Astra went and knocked off his crown. Then there is another Astra called Vaishnavastra by Bhagadatta. Bhagavan just stood in front and took the entire, he diffused that Astra. Because he was Bhagavan himself, Vaishnava Tej, that power, it just got diffused. Then Karna had the Shakti, which was given by Indra only. He had kept it only for Arjuna. He was keeping it for Arjuna. But what happened? Bhagavan knew. He sent Ghatotkacha, son of Bhima. He fought so valiantly, it appeared as though he would finish the entire Kaurava army. Karna had no choice but to use that arrow. And that arrow can be used only once. Ghatotkacha was killed. Again, Arjuna was protected. Again, Ashwatthama uses Brahmastra. Again, Bhagavan protects. In so many ways, not once or twice. Again, Jayadratha episode also. Actually speaking, Arjuna was dead. He just could not reach Jayadratha. He had taken a vow that I will kill him before sunset. But he was nowhere. Entire Kaurava army stood to protect him. He was not able to pierce through. But then what happened? Bhagavan created an illusory sunset. And then Jayadratha came out to make fun of him. Ah, now you have to die now. That's the vow he has taken. It is the time, chop him off. Again, nobody knew all this. His father had taken a what you call, he got a boon that whoever chops his son's head, and if the head falls on the ground, the person who has chopped that head, his head will explode in thousand pieces. So Bhagavan said, chop his head, but ensure that his head doesn't fall down. So he had to continuously shoot arrows. In some deep forest, his father was meditating. So that head has to fall into his lap. And when something was, fallen, he's like, he just immediately stood up. And thus so the head fell from him. Thus, father's head was blasted into thousand pieces. Very amazing stories we have. You see? So thus, in how many ways? How was 100% it is true. Nobody could touch Arjuna. In fact, very many missiles hit the chariot also, but nothing happened because Bhagavan was there. That story, I don't know where that story came from. So after the war, Krishna tells Arjuna, you get down first. Arjuna said, why Bhagavan? No, you get down first. He got down. Later, the moment Bhagavan got down from the chariot, the whole chariot exploded. Because so many missiles had already fallen. And because Bhagavan was there, nothing happened. So in our life also, hold on to Bhagavan. And everything will be safe. In the message. More of it tomorrow is. ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः Hari Om.